The fourth time was really the charm. Let me tell you why I thought this was fantastic. All you need to know before I start the spoiler-free review is that the Fantastic Four First Steps is technically the fourth time Marvel's first family has been brought to the big screen. But in this version that's finally being made by Marvel Studios, the Fantastic Four are placed in their own self-contained universe with a heavy retro futuristic vibe. And in this story, they meet a humanoid alien named the Silver Surfer who warns them that their planet has been marked for death. After learning this news, they try every possible way to save their Earth from the cosmic force of nature known as Galactus. Anyways, I really liked a lot of stuff in this very special movie. It was incredibly well thought out. Things like the set design, the visuals, the wardrobe, the retro futuristic vibe, and the overall tonal balance led by director Matt Shakman was absolutely fantastic. Shakman is a really great talent. I hope he gets as much praise as everything else does in this very well-made film. I mean, honestly, what him and his creative team are able to accomplish here is super impressive to me. Honestly, the more I think about this, I think that this movie will be a serious contender at the upcoming Oscars in several of the technical categories, such as wardrobe, set design, original score, visual effects especially. I was truly in awe of all of the incredible work I was seeing on the screen. Also, the sci-fi concepts in here are just so cool. There's about like a 15 or 20 minute sequence in space that made me feel like I was a space traveler, scientist, just like the rest of the Fantastic Four. It was incredibly immersive and just overall awesome. But when talking about the cast, I have to admit I was a bit skeptical on some of the choices, like with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards / Mr. Fantastic. I've always been a big fan of Mr. Fantastic just because I thought his stretchy powers were cool, and I always appreciated the fact that he was just a super genius. And although I have been a fan of Pascal's work ever since I've seen him as Javier Peña in the Netflix series Narcos, I can admit that I was a bit unsure of his potential performance. But I'm happy to report that I was absolutely wrong and he completely nails the role. In my opinion, I think Pedro's performance as his character is going to win over a bunch of the audience members who were a bit more skeptical / negative of him in the role. He is definitely able to show a lot of range with everything he gets to do here. When talking about Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm / the Invisible Woman, she was the only cast member that I was absolutely certain that I was gonna love. I've been a big fan of her work as a performer for quite a long time now, and I knew she was going to bring something new and something special to this character. And she definitely does. She is great as the matriarch of the family, the emotional heart or core of the four, and the Sue character in herself really stands strong on her own, even outside of the team, which is something I appreciated a lot, and in my opinion, she was the obvious standout of the four. Another casting I was a bit more skeptical on was Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm / the Human Torch. And I gotta say, Quinn does a pretty good job with what he's given in this movie. He has a very unique and specific purpose to the plot, and by the end of the movie, I was really digging this version of the Human Torch. But I am pretty excited to see where he goes next. You know, the evolution of the character of the Human Torch. I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see on screen. Finally, with Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the Thing / Ben Grimm, I thought he was really good, really good. He probably gets the least to do out of the four, but what he does get to show makes me feel confident that he is the right pick for Ben Grimm, and he has a lot of future story potential. Also, the visual effects of the Thing were absolutely incredible. They looked as perfect as you could imagine the effects of a rock person to be. But yeah, the four of them are excellent in their roles. I thought they had a lot of great chemistry with each other, and I really did feel like that they were a family first and foremost. The only thing that I was kind of mixed on when it comes to the movie was the story. I wasn't as emotionally invested as I thought I'd be. This next thing is more of a nitpick, but I wanted a lot more Galactus and Silver Surfer. And to be clear, I thought that they were used the proper amount in this movie, but selfishly, I wanted a lot more of them. But yeah, basically, the Fantastic Four First Steps was a very, very good movie. It was a breath of fresh air with its own groovy, unique sci-fi style, and it masterfully captures that sense of wonder that audience members get when they watch a classic film, in addition to being an excellent comic book film. I am super excited to see more of these characters and this specific side of the Marvel Universe. I had a great time watching this, and I have little to no doubt that this will be high up on my favorite movies of 2025 once we get to the end of the year. I definitely recommend this to anyone. Make sure you see it on the biggest screen possible as fast as you can. It was truly fantastic. What did you think about the Fantastic Four First Steps? And who's your favorite member of the Fantastic Four?